Hello friends, good morning. Welcomes in online YouTube classes. Today we studied about types of crystalline solid. Types of crystalline solid. This classification is based on intermolecular forces between constant particles. What types of forces exist between constant particles? These solids are classified, students, in following four types. First, molecular solid. Second, ionic solid. Third, metallic solid. And fourth, covalent or network solid. Okay, first is molecular solid. Those solids have molecules constant particles bonded with each other by weak van der Waals forces are called as molecular solid. It means those solids have weak van der Waals forces between constant particles molecules. These solids are insulator and soft in nature, therefore its melting point is low. And these solids again classified into following three categories. First, non-polar molecular solid. Second, polar molecular solid. And third, hydrogen bonded molecular solid. In all three types solids, constant particle is be same. It means molecules. Constant particles in three types solid is be molecules. But intermolecular forces is be different in all three types. It means non-polar molecule solid constant particles are held together by London forces or dispersion forces. It means forces exist in this London forces or dispersion forces. It is a van der Waals forces. You learnt in class 11th, states of matter, different types of van der Waals forces. It is a types of van der Waals forces. Forces between instantaneous dipole and induced dipole. This type forces is called as London forces or dispersion forces. But in polar molecular solid, polar means dipole. Therefore, intermolecular forces here is be dipole-dipole interaction. Dipole-dipole interaction. Okay, student? And hydrogen bonded molecular solid already names hydrogen bond. It means intermolecular forces exist by hydrogen bond. It is important forces in non-polar and polar. Then examples of these type forces exist in all inert gas. Inert gas means argon, neon, krypton, xenon. And some gases at low temperature behaves like a non-polar molecular solid, Cl2, O2, N2, CCl4, CO2. These are the examples of non-polar molecular solid. And I2, because these have zero dipole moment. Next example of polar molecular solid, HCl, HBr, Hi, SO2, CHCl3. These are the polar molecules and forms polar molecular solid. In hydrogen bonded, what is hydrogen bond? It is the bond between hydrogen of one molecule and nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine atoms of another molecules. These are the higher electronegative atoms. This type bond is called as hydrogen bond. Example of this category is be ammonia, H2O, HF. These molecules already coexist with hydrogen bond. Understood? And now properties of this type solids. It means non-polar molecular solids are soft, same as polar molecule, soft, and hydrogen bonded, soft. All molecular solids are soft in nature, and conductivity of these solids are insulator. All solid, these are insulator, this one insulator, and this one insulator. All molecular solids are insulator. Next, melting point of molecular solid is be low. All types of solid, it means, and melting point of these solids are low, low, low. It is a overall molecular solid. Understood? Okay, students. Next topic is be ionic solid. Ionic solid. Ionic solids means the solid forms by ions. It means constituent particles is be ions. In this solid, constituent particle is be ions. Ions means cations and anions. Both ions are held together by electrostatic force or ionic bond. Therefore, this type force is called as electrostatic force or Coulombic force or ionic bond. Okay, student. Example of this type solid is be NaCl, MgO, KNO3, K2SO4. All types of examples include in this category. It means those solids have cations and anions bonded with together by electrostatic force. Now, conductive nature of solids. This type nature of solid is be hard and brittle in nature. These type solids are hard and brittle in nature. Okay, students. And conductivity of these solids are very important. For example, NaCl is an insulator in solid state, but good conductor in molten state. Question very important, but this question belongs to ionic solid. It means ionic solids are insulator in solid state, but conductor in molten state, because in solid state ions are held together by strong electrostatic force, therefore no ions free. But in molten state ions are free in solution, therefore conductivity will be conductor. It means it behaves like as a conductor. Okay, students. Next point, its melting point. Its melting point is be high due to presence of strong electrostatic force between constituent particles. Okay, student. Next solid is be metallic solid. Metallic solid. You know metal. Hello friends, we discussed topic about metallic solid. As you know, in the metals, electrons randomly movement at the top surface of the metal, like that, this type. Therefore, constituent particles is be cations in the sea of delocalized electron. Cations in the sea of delocalized electron. This term used because electron is be many and cations is be minimum, because when electron removes the surface of metal, then metal forms cations. Therefore, constituent particles belong in this form. Okay, and forces exist between this type manner is be metallic bond. It means it contain metallic bond. Examples of this category: all metals like as lead, copper, zinc, tin. You know very well many examples of metals, and some alloys like as brass and bronze. Do you know about brass? It is the mixture of copper and zinc. This is a mixture of copper and zinc. It is called brass. And bronze metal. Bronze, not a metal, it is a alloy of copper and tin. And properties of these type solids is be hard, tense, and malleable and ductile. Hard, malleable and ductile. All properties of solid contain it. It means all properties of metals: malleability, ductile and hard nature. Conductivity: it is a good conductor in all phases. It means it shows always conductivity in solid, liquid, all properties in all states. And melting point of these type solids is be high, because high metallic bond, strong metallic bond, due to presence of strong metallic bond. Okay, Next topic is the covalent solid or network solid. In this solid, constrained particle is the atom. Is the atom. And atoms are strongly held by covalent bond and forms a network-like structure in three-dimensional space. Therefore, it is called as network solid. Like as diamond, like as graphite, like as quartz, SiO2, silicon carbide, Al2-3. These are the examples of covalent solid. And all covalent solids are hard except graphite. Graphite is soft in nature, but all covalent solids are hard in nature. Therefore, conductivity of covalent solids is the insulator, behaves like an insulator. But exception, graphite is a conductor due to presence of free ion in this structure. And melting point of network or covalent solid is the maximum high. Is the maximum high. Okay, students. It is a overall types of crystalline solid, and it can be explained by chart form. It can be explained by chart form. Chart based on different 6 points. Chart based on different 6 points. You can make this type chart, and name of topic of chart is B. First topic is B, types of crystalline solid. Second, types of constrained particles. Constrained particles. Third, types of forces. Examples, physical properties, conductivity, and melting point. On the basis of these points, we can consider as a form of chart and difference between all types of crystalline solids. Okay, students. This topics is be finished overall, and questions may be arises mostly types of forces, only non-polar and polar molecular solid, examples of molecular solid and covalent solid, physical properties of ionic solid and metallic solid, conductivity of only ionic solid, and melting point of covalent solid. Okay, students, this topics belongs to crystalline solids, and many examples and many questions arises belongs to the crystalline solid. Okay, students, now we take next topic. देखिए students, we take next topic is be unit cell. What is unit cell? Unit cell is a smallest part of crystal lattice which forms a lattice in arranged repetitive manner in three-dimensional space. Which forms lattice in repetitive manner in three-dimensional space. Suppose it is a smallest part of lattice. And it contains 8 corners, 12 edges, 6 faces and 1 center. Constituent particles of unit cell placed to the corners, then this is called lattice point. This is called lattice point. And lines joining to lattice point, lines joining to lattice point is called as lattice lines. Okay, students. Suppose one constituent particles present at corners, then it's covered by another 8 unit cells. Another 8 unit cell. Therefore, contribution of 1 unit cell is be 1 by 8. When constituent particles placed at corners. If constituent particle presents at edges, then it covered by another 4 unit cells. Therefore, contribution of 1 unit cell is be 1 by 4. Suppose constituent particle present on faces. This one faces, 6 faces, front, big, above, below, left, right. These are 6 faces. Suppose constituent particle present on surfaces, then it covered by another single unit cell. Then contribution of 1 unit cell is be half. Contribution of unit cell is be half. And suppose constituent particle present on the center of cube, then contribution of unit cell is be 1. Okay, students. It is the general features of unit cell. Now we take crystal lattice. What is crystal lattice? Crystal lattice is a 3-dimensional space, and it forms by unit cell in a repetitive manner. Okay, students. क्रिस्टल लैटिस एक 3-डायमेंशनल स्पेस होता है और उसमें यूनिट सेल के रिपीटेटिव मैनर से इसका फॉर्मेशन होता है. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, नाउ वी टेक पैरामीटर्स ऑफ यूनिट सेल. व्हाट इज द पैरामीटर्स ऑफ यूनिट सेल? पैरामीटर्स ऑफ यूनिट सेल. Generally 6 parameters of unit cell in form of axial length and axial angle. Okay, axial length and axial angle. Suppose one unit cell designed in this form, and its axis is be x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and axial length along to the axis is B, small a, small b, and small c. And angle between axis is B, A and B is B, gamma. And B and C is B, alpha. And A and C is B, beta. Okay, student. Therefore, axial length is B, A, B, C. These are three parameters. And axial length is be alpha, beta, and gamma. But alpha forms between B and C, and beta forms between A and C, and gamma forms between A and B. Okay. So students, these are 6 parameters of unit cell. Okay. In next video, we take types of unit cells. Okay, students, types of unit cells on the basis of arrangement of constituent particles in different surfaces or corners, edges, and faces. Okay, students, thank you.